got the feeling that it's not gonna work out. I got the feeling.
Hey guys, and welcome to my new video. So, like I have said before, if you haven't seen me before, my name is Brandon. Welcome to my new video. This video is actually going to be all about the circle. Now, I know that there are going to be a lot of people out there that don't know what the circle is, or that haven't actually, well, they haven't been following the series as much as pretty much I have. But in this video, I'm going to basically go through all of the people that have been eliminated and, well, have left the show so far, give you my true thoughts on them, my true opinions on them, and then in a separate video, I will do other circle related stuff. But yeah, I've already explained what the circle is in several of my vlogs, so if you want to go and have a look at some of them, I'm not sure which vlog I spoke about it in, but I did mention it somewhere. But yeah, this video is just going to be a quick breakdown of the people that have been eliminated already and my opinions and thoughts on them. So, without further ado, I would just get straight into the video. So, let's go. So I know it's probably a very keen thing to do, but what I decided to do is I decided to actually make a note on my phone with every single person that got eliminated, who they went to meet, and yeah, basically the order that they got eliminated in, just so it was easy for me to work out like who I liked, who I didn't like, and work out tactically how and why people got eliminated. So right at the beginning of episode 1, we found out who obviously the 8 people were. So the 8 originals were Sean, who played the game as herself, Alex, who played the game as his girlfriend Kate, Freddie, who wanted to play it straight, a openly gay guy acting straight. You had Dan the man with his turtle Fiji. You had Janelle, you had Aiden, again both of those ladies were playing themselves. The only thing about Janelle is that she had a daughter in there with her. Mitchell was playing it like himself, and Jennifer, she lied about her age, said she was slightly younger and said she was a doctor or a nurse or something like that. So far there have been actually 16 or 17 episodes, and yeah, we've already lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 people. So I worked it out before that there were 8 originals and 7 extra people went into the program. So after a couple of days, we said goodbye to Jennifer, and she obviously got eliminated, while Alex, Kate and Dan were the influencers. So both Alex and Dan were pretty much like, look, she hasn't really put much into the game, she's given us fishy vibes, so it was Jennifer that went. In my opinion, I think Jennifer seemed like pretty much a genuine lady. I think that because she just lied about her age and she wasn't really joining in with many of the conversations, I think she was trying to flirt with Dan a little bit. But yeah, she seemed like a nice lady, she just seemed a bit boring. But then when she left, she obviously went to see Janelle, and at this point Jennifer didn't know that Janelle had a kid, so when she went to see her, it was just like an oh my god moment. They seemed to get it on pretty well, and they seemed to get it on pretty well, and I think they're probably going to stay friends afterwards. But yeah, that was the first elimination, and that was the first meet. So the second eviction was from, I think it was Sean and Dan this time. So Sean, literally in the first couple of episodes, wasn't really there for me and my mate Mairead. She was just sort of one of those just extra characters. And yeah, I saw a turning point from her pretty much after this episode. So in the second eviction, her and Alex again, so Kate, he's playing his girlfriend, they had to discuss who they wanted to get rid of. And again, they hadn't really made that many connections. They'd only been there for about 3, 4, 5 days, and they decided to get rid of Mitchell. The thing that was happening at this time in the circle is that Mitchell and Aiden were starting to get to like each other. So just before the new person actually came in, or I think as the new person came in, there was a little bit of a argument between Sean and Alex was just sort of like, it wasn't all my decision, like some things that Sean said I couldn't disagree with. And at that point I was like, okay, so he's being a little bit snaky. To be fair, it was both of their decisions. To be fair, yeah, she was the one that put her foot forward and said, actually, you know what, Mitchell does need to go, but it wasn't all Sean. So she sort of lost a friend in Aiden, because Aiden sort of felt like she backstabbed her, which she didn't. And at that point, that's when I saw Sean like stepping up, being this no character to actually having a personality, actually speaking up for herself. And yeah, she was dragged under the bus by Kate, and it made her look bad when Aidan saw it in the group chat, but it wasn't all Sean's decision. But obviously, as Mitchell got eliminated, he then went to go and see Aidan, and it was very, very cute. She, bless her, well, she wasn't expecting the meet. She literally was just sitting there in her, like, I don't know, pyjamas or something. As soon as he came in, she was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So he had to take like 10 minutes to go put her makeup back on and all that. He was just sitting there laughing his head off, which is quite funny actually. But yeah, the thing with Mitchell, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like him at the beginning. I thought he was just one of those like really, really cocky boys, that one of those, I don't know, always going out, always getting drunk, always, I don't know, doing whatever. But he actually ended up being one of the most genuine people in that house, or in the circle even. And yeah, it was a shame that he went second, but I think him and Aidan are probably gonna try and sort something out on the outside. I do have a little like 1 minute clip that I found where they are actually planning a romantic date and a holiday and that sort of thing, so I will insert that here.
You right?
Oh my god! You okay?
Yeah.
Oh my god, how weird.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I've got my makeup on.
That's it. Although you did tell me that you didn't put makeup on, and then I watched a little clip of you running away to get ready before you saw me. Probably to London, innit?
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Ibiza.
Beaver! We've got Beaver. Just somewhere nice, because I love, like, I don't know if you, like, I know, I've seen like a classy bird and that, yeah. But I love a good bev. Beaver.
Yeah.
Prosecco. Maybe a WKD.
Maybe a
or two.
WKD.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'll open them for you.
Yeah. You can drink them as well, can't you?
Yeah, exactly.
But that was quite an interesting meet. And yeah, it was nice that obviously Mitchell decided to go and see Aidan, because remember at this point, none of these people have actually met each other in the flesh. It's just all through this text messaging service. So after that second eviction, like I said, Sean was pretty much just like put under the bus, and Kate was just like, Alex/Kate was basically just like, look, it wasn't me that made all the decisions. I couldn't disagree with some of the things that Sean said, which made Aidan think, actually, you know what, Sean's a snake, which she's not. She's probably the most genuine person in there, hence why she's now still in the top 5 and has been influencer about 4,000 times. But yeah, there was another elimination, and unfortunately it was Sinead. So Sinead was playing Christopher. She pretty much came in as Mitchell got eliminated. So she came in and she was playing her 65-year-old grandpa, but no one believed it. Her stay was short-lived, so it was bye-bye Sinead. And shortly after that, in the exact same episode, it was a double elimination. We also said goodbye to Aidan. Now, bear in mind, Aidan's gone through a lot of emotional stuff already with the whole goodbye Mitchell and all of that sort of thing. So I don't think she was on her best terms just with herself, and yeah, it was a shame to see Aidan go, because again, she was nice. I just think she didn't really have much of a purpose in there. She was a nice girl, but she needed to have more than just good looks. She needed to have a bit more of a personality. But again, when she left, she went to go and see Kate. So Alex, who was playing his girlfriend Kate, she saw him. She was very, very shocked, very, very confused. But yeah, at least she knew that Alex was playing the game from the beginning, and she was saying how well he did and how, I don't know, how he was playing the game really, really well. I think I have a clip of that as well.
Fuck off. You're lying.
Yeah?
You're lying.
No? So this whole thing for me is connecting that face with my personality and seeing if we can make like the most popular person in here.
You have fully baffled me,
I'm
bruh.
knee deep, aren't I?
Big time bullshit, I tell you now. I think that
Yeah.
I kept a note of everything.
Read this page out, one
Oh my
second.
God.
Makeup/hair. My girlfriend's makeup and hair routine is.
You are unbelievable, mate. I
And
can't.
like this,
I
like
can't.
height 5'2".
That was a very, very interesting meet, and I think they're probably going to stay friends after. She'll always have that grudge of like, oh, Alex, you were fake. But yeah, the character, the personality and everything he was playing of Kate was himself. He just had to do that little like feminine thing. He had to keep the act up. But yeah, that was the 4th elimination after Jennifer, Mitchell and Sinead. So after that, we had a massive turn of events. So Janelle wasn't feeling too great. I think she had, I'm not sure what the exact problem was, but she was having some problems, and I don't think she was enjoying her time in the circle. I think that's probably the reason that she left. And yeah, so she decided to leave the circle, bearing in mind she had just started getting close to Dan, and he was the only other person, other than Jennifer, who obviously witnessed it in the flesh, he was the only other person that knew that she'd had a daughter in there pretty much since the beginning. Left her with all of her secrets and stuff like that. And yeah, I think it was very, very sad for them all, because they all saw who she was, they all saw she was genuine, and they obviously all found out then that she obviously had a daughter in there with her. But yeah, that was a shame for Janelle to leave, and luckily that was the only person that left. Everyone else was voted out, basically. So eviction number 5 was, well, it was pretty quick. I think this was after Ryan the psychic came in, and then Hannah and Scotty were like a double in. So Ryan came in, that's when I think Aiden went out, and then Janelle left, and Hannah and Scotty came in. So it was all a bit of a mismatch, it was all a bit of a weird sort of scenario, but I think, yeah, so that's when Hannah and Scotty came in. And unfortunately, that was the few days later that Hannah actually got kicked out. The thing with her is she came in, no, actually, yeah, Janelle was still in at this point. So Hannah came in, and Hannah sort of got the eyes for Dan straight away. She liked the look of Dan, she wanted to get with Dan sort of thing, and Janelle pretty much took her straight to a private chat and was like, look, I'm getting close to Dan, me and Dan are trying to get to know each other, so get yourself away, like go see someone else. And then I think Janelle tried to set her up with Scotty, and I think that's pretty much where it all went wrong. The whole episode was just a bit weird. Scotty took Sean on a date, yet Sean's not interested in Scotty because obviously he lied about his age, and he lied about the conversation he had with Hannah, saying he never mentioned his willy. Their whole conversation was just about the size of his willy, and that he was going to cast shade on the circle and all of this rubbish. So Hannah wasn't sure who to believe, whether she was to believe Sean or whether she was to believe Scotty. Turned out Sean was telling the truth the whole time, and obviously when Hannah got eliminated, she went straight to Scotty and was like, look, why did you lie to me? The fact that you lied and made me look like an idiot basically got me eliminated, which was fully true. And I got the same sort of vibes off of Hannah as I got off with Mitchell. I wasn't sure if she was a nice person. I was like, nah, she's just one of these people that just goes out getting drunk every night. She just sleeps around with everyone. And I was completely wrong. Like, she might not have been the smartest person in there, don't get me wrong, but she did have a few brain cells, and the fact that, again, like Sean, she stuck up for herself, and she worked out that Scotty was pretty much mugging her off, flirting with all of the girls in there. Yeah. But I had nothing bad to say about Hannah. Like I said, not many brain cells, but the brain cells that she did have helped her to work out and uncover the whole story about but the brain cells that she did have in there helped her uncover the whole story about Scotty and allow her to realise that Sean was actually telling the truth the whole time. The next person that we saw get eliminated was Ryan. So Psychic Ryan wasn't very psychic because he thought Dan was going to go that week. So the next person, so the 6th person that we saw get eliminated was actually Ryan. So Psychic Ryan wasn't very psychic, as Freddie said, because supposedly Dan was supposed to go the week before or the couple of days before, and it was actually Hannah that went. But yeah, when Ryan went, he went to go and visit Freddie, so it was a bit of an awkward chat. I could see it was a bit and Freddie was just taking the mick out of him, being like, do you do like this psychic stuff for like a day job? And I think Ryan was like, yeah, like he that's what he does. And he was like, well, you're not very good at being psychic then, because you're getting all the things wrong. And the funny thing with them as well, when Ryan went in, the members of the public actually decided who they wanted to see him on a date with, and they picked Freddie. Probably one because he was gay, and they wanted Ryan to try and suss out that Freddie was not actually straight, or just because Freddie's banter and they were going to have a bit of fun. The funny thing from their date though, in the hangout, was actually Freddie saying he had I can't remember what car he said he had, but he said he had a car which happened to be the same as Ryan's, and he could not think of a car brand. That was very, very funny, very, very interesting. And yeah, I think my perceptions of Freddie have completely changed as well. I remember at the beginning I wasn't really a fan of him. I just thought he was a bit too loud. And gradually over the series, yeah, he's a bit controversial. Yeah, he is playing the game very, very well, and he has to do some things to make him look like a good person. But that's what it's all about. Like, it's better to have a positive gameplay than just right, I'm going to go in there and flirt with everyone, and I'm going to go in there and I don't know, pretend to be friends with people. At least he's actually got friends like Sean, like Scotty before Scotty went out. And yeah, I don't think he's made too many enemies. He's trying to get more people on his side, and I think they are on his side. So the 7th eviction was actually Mairead. Now, I think Mairead had actually been in for pretty much like a day or like 2 days, well, an episode. And yeah, she was a 57-year-old lady. She went in, I think she went in as being like 32 or something, so her picture was obviously slightly different. And it was very, very interesting. But I think her little mini game when she went in was, there was 2 pictures on the screen and it was sort of like this person or that person. So it came up with each of the other contestants that were still in. So at this point it was Sean, Alex, Freddie, Dan, Harry and Scott. No, it was Sean, Alex, Freddie, Dan and Scotty. So it was the 5 of them and Mairead. And what Mairead had to do is a picture of Sean would come up and a member of the public, female from the audience would come up, from the public, sorry, would come up, and Mairead would have to pick who's the better looking person, whether it would be Sean or whether it would be that female public person. Same thing with Alex, but obviously with Alex it would be Kate, the picture of Kate, and another female from the public, and it was the same for all of them. And if they agreed with Mairead, then they got to add a new profile picture. So if Sean picked Sean and Mairead picked Sean, then Sean would have been a profile picture. And the funny thing was, in one of the options, it was Freddie or Alex. Obviously it was a picture of Alex. None of them know that it was Alex, but it was quite funny because they were all saying, I think Dan said he looks like the sort of guy that tells crap knock jokes. I think Freddie was like, look, I'm better looking than this ugly piece of crap or something. And it was funny because Alex was sitting there laughing his head off because he's thinking, none of these guys know that I'm Kate, but they all think that that's not me, sort of thing. It was very, very interesting. But that was Mairead's initiation, and yeah, unfortunately, I think on the episode or a few days later, she got eliminated. Again, the thing with her is that she and Dan were having a little fling as well. So not only was Jennifer trying to get, well, on Dan's good side, and then Janelle, before Janelle left actually, but Mairead was also having a go. And yeah, she obviously went to go and see Dan. He was a bit shocked, as with when Aidan went to see Kate, but he was just sort of like, oh my god, like, she's not real. And I think he mentioned that he would have been really, really annoyed if she was a horrible person, because not only did she lie, but also spiteful. But I think when they actually met, he did say in the interview of the little, like, the Big Brother sort of circle bit, he was like, actually, in this sort of situation, I would hate the person for lying, but she's actually a nice person. And she still did look good for 57. But yeah, my thoughts about Mairead. I think she was a nice girl, but I think she was just a bit boring. I think she was very, very similar to Jennifer in the way that she lied. Didn't really lie that great, and to be fair, it was pretty boring. But yeah, I'm happy she went. I'm happy she saw Dan, so at least Dan knew she wasn't real, and at least Dan got to understand why she decided to be fake, because apparently she was this really, really attractive 30-year-old, and she was doing things left, right and centre that she just wanted to relive those memories again, but still have the same flirty Mairead. And the funny thing was, Dan actually questioned, he was like, did you make up that name as well? And she was like, no, I can't exactly make up a name like that. So that was very interesting. This is when, after Mairead left, Harry and Precious came in, and Harry and Precious were the last 2 people to come in. So Harry, 22, I think he was very, very much into football and very, very attractive. And then Precious was the 34-year-old model from London, long hair, she looked a bit like a Disney princess, very, very attractive, but very, very bitchy, not really my cup of tea. And luckily, she was the 8th elimination, and Precious was obviously blocked from the circle, and I said, bye bitch. Yeah, the thing with that, in that episode, so when Harry and Precious came in, another little mini game, another little teaser sort of thing, there was about 30 odd words on the screen, and each contestant left. So at this point it was Sean, Alex, Freddie, Dan, Harry, Scotty and Precious, so there's 7 of them. All 7 of them had to pretty much pick 5 words to describe every other housemate. So it was a mix of good words, it was a mix of bad words, it was just a mix of, I don't know, neutral words. And everyone got to see the words that people described them, but not who said them. So for example, I think on Sean's one it said genuine, and the bigger the word was, the more people said it. So if it was the biggest, then obviously you know most or all of the people said it. If you got something like shady and it was like this small, the majority of people obviously didn't say that word. So in that episode there was a little bit of cat fight between Precious and Sean, I think because same sort of thing. It was the whole Scotty thing again. So you know you had it with Hannah and Sean. Now you've got it with Sean and Precious. And Sean's not interested in Scotty because he already admitted to her he was like 5 years older than what he already said, which isn't much, but for a 20-year-old girl, it's a bit weird. And then, yeah, Precious was just sort of like, why are you talking to my man? Da, 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 da. She was just being really, really bitchy, but it was good because Sean, again, like I said, she stuck up for herself. I can't remember exactly what the argument was, but she stuck up for herself. And yeah, I think the thing that got Sean a little bit angry is when they were doing some little yoga gym session thing, and Precious didn't know the names of some of the poses. So just out of pure kindness, Sean just re-messaged, but with the right name of pose. And I think for some reason Precious took offence to it, and she was just being really snaky to everyone. Like, she said she's a feminist, and she said she was there to like be friends with everyone and all that, but as soon as she saw Sean's picture, she was like, yeah, there's something fishy about her. No feminist says that. If you are a feminist, you accept people for who they are, you try and befriend as many females as you can, you do not just judge someone by a little picture. And that's what social media does, judges people by pictures. So thank God she's eliminated, and thank God she did not make the final. Obviously, when Precious got eliminated, she went to see Sean, and as with when Mairead saw Dan, and as with when Aiden saw Kate, Sean was very, very like, oh my God, what the hell, she's real. But she literally came in with a force of power, sat down and was basically just having a massive go at her, saying how she's not a nice person and all of that. And then she called down, wished her the best and everything, but I think it was fake luck. I don't think Precious wanted Sean to win. But to be fair, I didn't really want Precious to go and see Sean because she was going to ruin her gameplay. I did not want Sean to be put off by this person. So yeah, they had a little cat fight, they hugged it out and everything. I think they made up. And as soon as Precious left, Sean was like, what the hell was that? Like, she was shocked Precious went to see her. She probably knew it was coming, but she was very, very shocked. And obviously, I think it's a sigh of relief for her that she's gone. Harry was still there actually, and I think Sean liked Harry, so I think she would rather Harry go and see her, but we'll see what happens in the next few episodes. But the last person that obviously got evicted just before the final 5 was actually Scotty, and that was a very, very shocking episode. I actually found out that Scotty got evicted before I actually watched the episode, because I was on a night out. I just accidentally went on Instagram and accidentally just saw that he got evicted, or blocked actually from the circle, but I wanted to see how it happened. So it turns out that the 6 of them just did a little emoji game, so they all had to pick a different emoji, and if they all picked a different emoji, then they won. Well, they didn't win anything, it was just part of a game. It took them ages and ages and ages to do it. Harry and Scotty kept refusing to change from the poo emoji, and eventually they both changed and they both got the angry emoji, and then I think by the end of it they did actually all win the challenge. They did the ratings, and the ratings were slightly different, so instead of the top 2 influencers getting rid of someone from the bottom, so the ratings were slightly different because whoever got the top influencer became a super influencer, and that basically meant none of the other contestants would know that they would be the influencer, and they could literally just block someone from the circle there and then. So obviously Sean became the super influencer, and the rest of them didn't know that it was her. It just said on the rest of their screens, the super influencer has now been chosen, they are making the decision. And she went through every single contestant. She was like, look, my friends in here are my biggest competition, but it's not like her to just block her friends. So she was like, actually, you know what? Harry's actually fit in pretty well. Me, Alex, Freddie and Dan have literally been here from day one, and I feel like Scotty just had too many arguments with him, and the fact that he lied several times as well, she was like, right, he has to go. That's pretty much it so far. We've said goodbye to Jennifer, Mitchell, Sinead, Aiden, Janelle actually left the show, Hannah, Ryan, Mairead, Precious and Scotty. So there are actually now 5 people left. You've got Sean, you've got Alex, who's obviously playing as his girlfriend Kate, you've got Freddie, who's actually playing it straight, he's actually an openly gay guy in real life. You have Dan, who's obviously playing it as himself, and you've got Harry, who's obviously playing it as himself too. So 4 of the 8 originals are still in. Harry the newbie, aka the fittest boy in the circle, are still in the competition for the top 5, and I think we find out tonight 1 more person who goes home, and then the top 4 are in the live final from Monday on actually. They were my views, they were my opinions, and that was just a little summary of the circle contestants. So if you did enjoy my video, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. If you haven't been watching the show and you want to catch up with it, then go onto channel 4. Every single episode is on there at the moment, and you can watch and re-watch these events happening all over. But yeah, comment down below in the comments box who you think your winner is, who your favourites were, who you didn't like, thoughts about the show, because obviously it's series 1 and there potentially could be a series 2, which I'm going to try and apply for again. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to support the channel. I'm aiming for 100 subscribers on this channel so I can change my URL, because at the moment I don't want this youtube.com/load of crap, because it's difficult for people to find my channel. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then you know what to do. And I will see you, I have no idea when, but for a new video soon. Okay, bye.